Hey, hello, I'm Tunesy, if you couldn't tell by the channel name, of course. Oh my goodness, guys, it's day freaking 29. Can y'all freaking believe that? I started off my video with that, by the way. I've realized, I don't rewatch my videos, but like, I've realized, I was like, oh my god, I say the literally same thing when I start this series. Hey guys, it's me, Tunesy. Today's freaking day 29 or whatever number we're on. I can't believe we're on 29 already. That means tomorrow is going to be the 5 days since I recorded since I uploaded the 25th. That's freaking crazy. I remember just yesterday worrying about the 25th. But yeah. Today's the 20 freaking ninth. Tomorrow's the 30th. That's freaking crazy to think about. Um and yeah. Wow. We're almost done with the series. By the time you know it, I don't know how to snap, but I don't know why I did that. I used to do this in freaking music class. Like when we had to snap, I was like, I don't know how to snap. Like people always try to teach me, but like I generally don't know how to. It's hard for me. I also don't know how to whistle. I'm not even try. I'm embarrassing myself in front of like 6 people, but it's okay. Um, but yeah, today's freaking state is New Hampshire. We're getting into the news. We're getting to New Jersey, New Hampshire, New Carolina. I was gonna say New Carolina, North Carolina, North Dakota, North. I think that's all the North in news. Oh, New York, New York. But yeah. Um, and yeah. It's freaking currently 10:16 on a Saturday, October 11th, and yeah, let's get started. I didn't freaking mention. I'm so sorry. The song of the day is Act Still by Alex G. The genre is indie rock. Um, but yeah, today's murder is about the Bear Brook murders. Um, the case was anonymous for a while, which like the people they didn't know who the people were, like who got murdered, until like this year. They figured out one of the people this year, and then the rest like in a few years ago. So this is kind of new information. Um, also, uh, I didn't verify this. I mean, I didn't like clarify this, but this story will be bouncing back and forth between years. So like, I'll go into like 2017, then I'll go back to 1988 or some shit like that, some stuff like that. And yeah. Anyways, let's get freaking started, guys. I don't want to talk that much. It's not really that long of a story, I don't think, but still. On November 10th, 1985, a hunter found a metal 55-gallon drum near the site of a burned down store at Bear Brook State Park in Allenstown, New Hampshire. Inside were the bodies of an adult female and a young girl, wrapped in plastic. Autopsy determined both had died of a blunt trauma. The two were buried in Allenstown Cemetery with a tombstone that read, "Here lies the mortal remains known only to God of a woman aged 23 to 33 and a girl child aged 8 to 10. Their slain bodies were found on November 10th, 1985 in Bear Brook State Park. May their souls find peace in God's loving care." On May 9th, 2000, the remains of two young girls were found near the first discovery site. The bodies were also in a metal 55-gallon drum, and police believe that all four murders occurred at roughly the same time, despite their having inexplicably missed the second drum in 1985. According to investigators, it took so long to discover the second drum because it was outside the initial crime scene. The cause of death for all the children was blunt force trauma. The adult was determined to be Caucasian with possible Native American ancestry. Her age at the time of death was estimated to be 23 to 33. She had curly or wavy brown hair and was between 5 feet 2 in and 5 feet 7 in height. Her teeth showed significant dental work, including multiple fillings and 3 extractions. The three girls were thought to also have some Native American heritage. They had light or European American complexions. The girl found with the adult female was between 5 and 11 years old. She had symptoms of pneumonia, a crooked front tooth, and a dystemia, 2 earrings in each ear, and was between 4 foot 3 in and 4 foot 6 in tall. Her hair was wavy and light brown. She had no dental fillings. The middle child, also had a notable gap between her front teeth and died at an age between 2 and 4. She had brown hair and was about 3 feet 8 and tall. She had an overbite, which was probably noticeable. She also may have suffered from anemia. DNA proved this child was fathered by Terry Petter Robinson. The youngest girl was estimated to be 1 to 3 years old. Had blonde, had long blonde or light brown hair. Was between 2 feet and 1 in and 2 feet 6 in tall, and also had a gap between her front teeth. In the early days of the investigation, authorities publicized the case in the United States and some parts of Canada. At least 10 possible identities were ruled out. Despite hundreds of leads, the bodies were not identified. In June 2013, new versions of the victims' facial reconstructions were created by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. These versions incorporated their dental information, showing how their teeth could have affected the appearance of their faces. The reconstructions were created in black and white, as their skin tones and eye colors could not be determined. In November 2015, NCMEC released a third set of reconstructions of the 4 victims at a news conference at the New Hampshire State Attorney General's office. In 2014, police announced that DNA profiling had revealed through mitochondrial DNA that the woman and oldest and the youngest girls were maternally related. This means that the woman could have been the girl's mother, aunt, or older sister. In 2015, it was established that the woman was the mother of the 2 girls. Other forensic information showed that the woman and children lived together in the northeast United States between 2 weeks and 3 months before their deaths. Investigators have concluded that the woman and 2 of the children lived in the area where their bodies were found. Advanced forensic testing showed the 2 to 4-year-old girl probably spent most of her childhood in either the upper Northeast or upper Midwest, perhaps Wisconsin. In 2019, however, it is stated that the non-related child most likely originated from Arizona, Texas, California, or Oregon, although additional locations cannot be excluded. In January 2017, it was announced that the disappearance of Denise Boyden, a woman from New Hampshire who had been missing since 1981, was connected to the Bear Brook murders. By November 27, 1981, Boyden had disappeared from the Manchester, New Hampshire, along with her younger daughter and Robert Bob Evans, after she was last seen by her family in Allenstown for Thanksgiving. Evans later abandoned a young girl, Lisa, at a campground in California in 1986, while he was living under a different alias and served prison time for the abandonment. By the way, before I forget, Lisa is an alias name, like not their real name. They don't want to use their real name. In 2003, after Evans was arrested under yet another alias for the murder of Unsin Jun, police began an investigation into Evans' past and conducted a DNA test, which found that Lisa was not his daughter. However, it was not until 2016, with the help of Detective Peter Headley of the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office and genetic genealogist Barbara Ray Venter, Lisa was discovered to be Bruadon's daughter. Bruadon was subsequently reported missing, and based on Evans' modus operandi, was believed to have also been killed by Evans. Due to the proximity between Manchester, where Bruadon disappeared, and Allenstown, where the barrels were found, New Hampshire authorities suspected the cases were connected. They performed DNA testing and found that the Bear Brook adult victim was not Bruadon. However, Evans was found to be the father of the middle child, who was not related to the 3 other victims. They also said that Robert Evans was another name and that the man's legal identity was unknown. Evans died in prison in December 2010. He had been convicted and sentenced under another alias, Curtis Kimball, for the 2002 murder and dismemberment of his wife at the time, Unsun Jun. Authorities believed that Evans was the killer of the 4 Bear Brook victims, but did not elaborate. In June 2017, police released a video of a police interview with Evans in hopes of finding his true identity. At the same time, Ray Venter was helping to narrow down Evans' identity using genetic genealogy. 2 months later, Robert Evans was confirmed as Terry Petter Runciman. through Y-DNA testing from a DNA sample contributed by one of his children from what is believed to be his first marriage.
To get my ducks lined up. Okay. And now you've got me up here. Okay. So here I am. Now, okay, we've been through this road already. Okay. Everybody is different. Right. Law enforcement people are human beings like everybody else, like every other individual. Now, I haven't talked any more about Ensoon's problems or my problems because, frankly, you're not my priest, no, and you're not my doctor, and both stories have their place. You know, gossip has its place in society sometimes, but I'm just not going to say any more about Ensoon or myself right now. Oh, because, with the understanding, I mean, frankly, no, I'm not going to cut you off.
Born in 1943, Robinson was a native of Denver, Colorado. He married in 1968, had 4 children between 1969 and 1972, and lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and Redwood City, California. His wife left him between 1973 and 1974, and his family last saw him around Christmas 1974. One of his children from this marriage provided the DNA sample that confirmed Robinson as Evans in June 2017. Robinson, known as the chameleon killer, is believed to have used at least 5 different aliases in a decades-long run of crimes across the country, including at least 5 homicides and likely more. This was the first major case in which genetic geology was used to identify a crime suspect. The youngest child, younger half brother, who had never met her, created a post in 1999 on the Ancestry.com website in an effort to locate her. The child was born in Hawaiian Gardens, California, when her father was in the Marines. In October 2018, librarian Rebecca Heath, who was looking for possible identities of the Bear Brook victims, found the post. She found that the child's mother had an older daughter with her first husband, and that their ages matched those of the 3 related Bear Brook victims. Significantly, one of the child relatives, whom Heath contacted, mentioned that the child's mother had married a man with the last name Robinson. This made Heath almost certain that they were the 3 related Bear Brook victims, and Heath shared her findings with Detective Peter Headley. On June 6th, the New Hampshire investigators held a press conference regarding the case and revealed the identities of 3 of the victims. Marlise Elizabeth Honeychurch was the mother of Marie Elizabeth Vaughn and Sarah Lynn McWater, all of whom went missing from La Punta, California around Thanksgiving 1978, while she was dating Rosamond. Honeychurch had an argument with her mother and left the residence, never contacting her relatives again. Honeychurch may have adopted the Louse's name, Elizabeth Evans, to use in legal documents during May 1980. It is believed that all 4 victims were murdered before 1981, as Robinson was known to have left New Hampshire after this time. Marilise had previously married Mary's father in June 1971 and divorced in 1974. She married Sarah's father in September 1974, and the two were separated by the time she was known to be dating Robinson. The children both went through periods where they were in the custody of their fathers, but Marilise would later regain guardianship. By October 1978, Sarah's father was seeing another woman, and Sarah was presumably in the care of her mother. Honeychurch and Vaughn's funeral was held in November 2019 in Allenstown, during which they were given a new headstone bearing their names. In attendance were family members of Honeybunch's family and Robinson's daughter from his first marriage. Sarah was laid to rest in Connecticut, closer to her father's family. The 4th victim's identity was discovered in 2025. Prior to this, investigators stated that though advanced DNA testing, they could confirm the child was Ramason's. The mother of the child was named as Pepper Reed, who had disappeared in the 1970s. In February 2020, a new rendering of the 4th victim was released by the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children and New Hampshire State Police. In 2021, investigators revealed that the middle child's mother had relatives in Pearl River County, Mississippi. The following year, they determined that she was most likely a descendant of Thomas Deadhorse Michelle. Romason's daughter, Andrea Steers, had said she believed she met Jane Doe when she was very young. She also believes that Jane Doe was half Asian. In September 2025, which was literally last month, New Hampshire police positively identified the middle child as Rhea Robinson, Terry Robinson's daughter. Okay, so I don't think they clarified why the heck he murdered his own daughters and wife and the other two daughters of Mark Lease. But yeah. Uh, Also, I'm not exactly sure if I pronounced all those names right. I apologize if I didn't. Those names were very hard to say. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but yeah, hopefully I got some right, especially Terry's last name. I don't think I got that right at all. Ramasons, I think it's Rasums or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, that's the end of today's video. Tomorrow is day freaking 30. Can y'all believe that? And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Pretty interesting video. It's another long video though. I think it's like 16 minutes. It's gonna be 17 probably. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.